All right, guys, picking up right where we left off last time, let's look at profitability or really revenue by location. And this is something that Tableau does very well and is unique over a lot of other platforms is the ability to create maps really, really easily. So what we're going to do is we're first going to come down here, create our new sheet. We'll call it revenue by location. And we'll get started here. So what do we have in order to create our revenue by location map? This is something that I want to talk about a little bit. Tableau actually generates automatically latitude and longitudes based on stored, whenever you give it a location. It's really smart. If we go back to our data here, all I put in was these store state, gives it one clue. And then I gave it the acronyms and I also gave it some city names. And it's actually able to generate, as long as they're decent sized cities, it's able to generate their locations, their longitude and latitudes, like automatically. I didn't actually have to do anything. And we're going to use that to create a map. So let's take our revenue and first we'll show you just what a revenue graph would look like normally. If let's say you're trying to do this in Excel or something, we'll take our store state. Also, this might be collapsed for you, so you might have to open this up, store state, put it for rows. And we have this here, this graph, our revenue. We can see that California is very important. One super easy thing that Tableau also does, you can sort things in order. So we'll sort by descending. We can see that California is on top. And adjust this a little bit so we can see it a little bit better. Okay, so California is on top. But this is not really something to look at here. So instead, we're going to convert this to a heat map in Tableau, and it's super easy to do. So we're going to take this down. We're going to put our revenue over color, because that way we can see, on a map, if we're using the map for heat. You know what? Let me just show you what it means. Then we're going to put our longitude and latitude. One or the other goes in this column. One or the other goes in this one. And oh, I got lucky. Longitude goes in columns, latitude goes in rows. I don't remember that. We have our sum revenue here. We have our map, but we need something to put on the map. So what do we have? We have source state. We're going to put that as a detail, I believe. Yep. And now we have our map. And again, I'm not a huge fan of opacity, so I'm going to kill it. And we can now see each one of our states is highlighted by the amount of revenue that it generates. But color isn't really everything. We also probably want these to be labeled. So in order to create a label for something, we already have detail is kind of weird. It's like whenever you want something on well, it's not text, but it needs to be added to this chart and you don't know where to put it, just put it in detail. You're probably right. But we're going to add our revenue to each one of these different areas here. So this is actually something cool. I'm holding Control right now, and I'm going to drag it up to label. And that did not work. You know what, guys? I'm giving up on the control tactic. It fails on me almost every time. So we're actually just going to drag it over from the right side and put it over label. Okay. This is fine. We now have a revenue, but doesn't really look quite right. And Tableau will not inherit dollar signs from your worksheet usually. Sometimes it does, but most of the time it will not, even if you put it in as dollars in Excel. So what we have to do is we have to tell Tableau to format it. In order to do that, we're going to go over one of these revenues, actually specifically the revenue in the data pane. We're going to right click on it. We're going to go to edit, no. We're going to default properties. We're going to go to number format, and we're going to make it currency. We could do currency standard, but we're going to do currency custom, because if we did currency standard, we're still going to have all these 6 digits, and we don't really need those. We just need, like millions. So we will go no decimal places, please. Negative values we don't care about. Display units, we're going to set to millions. Include thousand separators. That won't matter. All right. Okay, so this looks a little bit better now. But those are kind of hard to see. And we're getting kind of into aesthetics here at this point, guys. But the other thing that you might want to do is you might want to change the way that these labels look. So you can go to label over here and select a different color maybe. Okay. And we will make them bold too. Okay. That looks pretty good. All right. That's it for our revenue by location graph. Hopefully that was informative for you guys. And I will see you guys in the next one.